Alrighty, so I'm switching cameras because I don't want spray paint anywhere near my new camera, and I use these to put things on. As you can see, there's a unpainted dot. Basically, I just use it to hold stuff up when I'm painting it. They work really well. It's just the lid from the spray cans. So this won't be getting held up. This is actually going to get taped and then hung and then painted. But those I can go ahead and show you guys the paint. Type of paint doesn't really matter for these because it's plastic. As long as you get some plastic paint. So this is black, and if I can find the white, this is white, and this is the clear coat. This is engine clear coat, but it'll work. So with using clear coat, you guys might want to know, if you don't know how to use clear coat, test it out on some stuff first, because clear coat can make or break, and if you don't know what you're doing, it will very easily break a paint job and make you want to redo the whole thing. So when using clear coats, be very careful, especially ones that are glossy. Those can be very damaging, not necessarily like it'll ruin your paint job, but if it's not applied correctly, it'll look like crap. And yeah, basically ruin the paint job. So I was kind of wondering if I really wanted to or not. I'm not sure. I kind of want to do a dual color on these, but I'm not quite sure what I want to be white and what I want to be black. I didn't really think about it until now. So I'll probably paint this whole shroud white, but I'm thinking I might paint some black on the back plate. Um, so what I'm going to do is, because I want it two different colors, I'm first going to lay the black on it first. Basically, it'll be a process and a handful of coats. So we'll throw the black on that one first. Spray it on the side here and make sure it's coming out all nice. And here we go, some nice light coats of black. So this is going to have to be layered, and yes, I'm going to paint the whole thing black, which I don't really have to do, but I want a nice full coat on it first. And then I'll lay the white on it once I've taped off what I want to remain black. So black and white. Like I said, I don't like to put too thick of a coat. And I believe I'm using a flat black here. Nope, it says high gloss. It doesn't look very glossy, but we'll find out how it looks when it's done. Hopefully it's not too bad. So, very thin, like powder coat going on right now, and let that dry. So while that dries, I'm going to move it, which I never suggest doing, but I'm going to. So future reference when you're painting something, don't move it until it's done drying. But I'm not going to wait for it to be done drying because I don't want to. So now we're going to do this right here, and this is going to be the white, which is just some white paint. I don't know, it's flat white, which will be glossy in the end because I'm going to be gloss coating it. But for the first coat of this stuff, first couple of coats until I lay on the glossy coat, it will be flat. So another thing is spraying in the cold can be pretty intense. You want to make sure you shake your cans a lot because very quickly can turn bad. So. And now we're going to let that dry and move on to another piece. And I'll set the camera up for that to show you guys what I'm going to do with that. So now we're going to start taping off this piece because I don't want to paint the whole thing because I don't want to put any extra paint over parts that have to make contact with the thermal pads, just for temperature purposes. So it's just something you don't want to do. You don't want to paint anything especially as if you put paint on that. Over time, there's a chance that the paint will just peel off onto those thermal pads from being on it for so long. So we're gonna tape this down, and I'm gonna tape a little bit away. It's hard to see on the shit camera, but I'm gonna tape a little bit away from the pink because I want to make sure I get all the pink. I don't want any left over, so I'm gonna leave like a small line of black in between right here. You can see a line of black paint on there, so I will be painting a little bit more than I originally did, which is fine as long as I don't get it anywhere near where the rubber pads are. And then as for this, I'm just literally going to push the tape on to each other right here to where it's touching each other, overlapping. And I'm doing that to make sure that no paint seeps into the inners of that. And basically I'm going to do this for the entire thing. If I had thicker tape, which I'm out of currently, this would be a little bit easier, I guess. I wouldn't have to put as many pieces of tape, but I'm out of the tape, so looks like we're just gonna have to deal with it like this, which is fine. It's doable. So what you want to do is you want to push down and make sure that the tape is creased really well, because you don't want the paint to seep underneath it. Yeah, you definitely don't want that. So we'll push down really nicely, make sure the tape is pushed down on all the parts that we want to paint. And there we go. So now the rest of it can basically just get sealed off so it doesn't get paint on it, overspray. So to do that, I'm literally just gonna fucking go like this over the whole thing. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to keep paint out. So yeah, if that's kind of a waste of paint, I know, or tape, I know, but you know what, it's whatever. I'll get over it. Alrighty, so like with ends like this right here, you want to pinch it closed, and then all the ends, like how they're popping up, you just want to push them down to make sure that paint doesn't get in there, because overspray will find its way into things like that, so you want to make sure all the edges are pushed down. And of course I missed a spot right there. We're definitely going to want to get that closed up, and just put a piece of tape over it, and that's good to go. And then this little edge I'm still missing right here because the tape ripped. So we'll go ahead and just grab a piece of tape and fold it over it like that, and then just fold it. And there we go. Now the whole thing's taped off except for the piece that I want to paint. So basically how it's going to go from here on is just keep applying the coats until you get the desired color you want, and just keep repeating, and then when I'm done with this I'll be going on to the clear coat. Alrighty, so we got most of everything painted. I can get this. So if you guys want to see what I've been doing with the cooler, all I did was, yeah, I got the CPU cooler. I just sleeved the cable white and black because, I don't know, I'm going to be using the stock cooler on this build, which will be coming up in the future. So we have this part, and as you can see, I've already taken the tape off of it. It's nice and white now instead of pink. Came out pretty decent. It's not really good or bad, it doesn't matter. Most of that's covered up anyways. And then, so I was originally going to paint this white with some black stripes, but once I painted it black, I kind of really liked it looked good, so I was just going to use it as black. As you guys can see, it's got a pretty good texture on it. No crazy oddities or mess ups anywhere. It still leaves my fingerprints on it though. Yeah, it does that. It's like matte black apparently, I don't know. So we're going to start putting it back together. Alrighty, so I got the plastic shroud, it's all been painted, and I'm going to try and get the camera to kind of get the glare so you guys can kind of see how my clear coats look when I'm done with them. So as you guys can see, you're not really going to be able to see any imperfections at all on this. I mean, I made sure the clear coat looked pretty damn good, and it's got a nice smooth finish all the way around it, and very fluffy feeling from the thickness. Now this was originally a flat white paint, and this is what clear coats can do if done properly. I'm trying to get the glare because that's how you see like the most on it. There we go. the glare will kind of show out any imperfections that it might have. So yeah, very nice looking. So we're gonna put this on. First, I guess we'll put our decals on. So we'll grab our little MSI sticker, and I don't even know if this is gonna be sticking enough anymore. I might end up super gluing it if it falls off. So we're gonna carefully slide this in. There we go. Put some pressure on it. Push it on there. So there's the MSI logo. We'll put the little dragon sticker back on there too. Of course. Gotta have that. Repping the MSI. There we go. So, push that down, put some more pressure on that, just make sure it's in there nice and good. And there we go. We got a custom painted white, was it red and black to pink, and then pink to white and black. So, we'll go ahead and reassemble the whole thing. I'll take this, I guess, and put it on that, just so I can move it around without scratching up the back plate too much. So I'm pretty sure this went on this way, I believe. So we're going to need to slide the fans in. I'll have to do this very carefully because the paint isn't the driest right now. I have a habit of doing that with paint, just not letting it dry all the way, because who needs dry paint, you know, when you're working on stuff? So there we go, it's all in. So now we just need to line up the holes here and screw the shroud down, which is these screws right here. Don't worry guys, I'll include some B-roll of what it actually all looks like at the end of the video, mostly because I want to test out my new camera on some B-roll, but I'll show you guys, give you guys a more detailed look on what it looks like. And there it is in all its glory. Very white and very black. MSI R9270X. Looks good. So B-roll time.
B-roll time.
Let's make a run together, I'll be by your side.